Yo, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new season of the VDL. This is season 4. For a lot of us, it's like season 2 or 3, but we got a lot of coaches returning and new, and we're excited to dive straight into some draft analysis ranking, right, guys? I've got Goomer and Goomy with me right now. Hopefully Ted will turn up at some point, but say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
So, our plan today is to just go through every team, give brief-ish thoughts on the draft. We're going to go in order of a ranking, which the way we've ranked at the minute is Goomer, Goomy, and Ted did an individual ranking, and we took an average of all three of those, and that's the order that we're taking for a week 0 power rankings. So don't take too much from this ordering because I said in the chat earlier last time we put number one a team that didn't make playoffs. So these are just our thoughts. It's not the be all and end all. And let's just have a bit of fun and see what we think of the teams, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somehow last in this, it was yourself, right, Goomy?
Yep.
I think this kind of because you just didn't rank yourself, so you put yourself 24th, so that kind of
Yeah,
just pulled you down on the average.
exactly. And I mean, we were talking about in the group chat where I do think I have like a worse team in the league. Like I think I'm maybe 20, 21, 22 in that area. I really like this team, but I don't think it's good. So like I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing with it. I really like the Multiscaler. I think Clefable is such an underrated pick. So I'm excited to use that. But I don't know. It's definitely not the best team. I'm really excited because a lot of these mons are just not mons I've used a lot, right? Other than Ludicolo and Slibro in my league.
I feel like you tried to like make the same teams to the best of your ability in the different like tiering system
Yeah,
almost with like Ludi, Slowbro, and Laleep coming back. Um, I mean, yeah, Moltres Galar obviously we saw last season that was tearing it up quite a lot with the Seedras. So it's obviously a very good pick. I think paired with Klefki as well, it
yeah,
can be a beast because with that massive Spadef stat, you can just throw up a reflect and then it's just so bulky. Um, you've also got Clefable there. Clefable doesn't get Ferengard like Clefairy. I think Clefable is a pretty costly pick for a tier one.
yeah.
Um,
I would agree. Tingala was sniped for me, and so it was weird to have Clefable as my backup, but it does have some offensive capabilities as well. So I decided to go for it.
like I didn't do my homework, guys, so I'm like looking at these teams like I'm not even seeing all the teams. Um,
Yeah, you're fine.
Courtney obviously there, got
I
Tail
was
wins. Of course, they're just bulk. Go ahead, Goomer.
I was gonna say I was actually considering Cliff Fables a tier one. I don't think it's terrible. I think the main thing is I just don't see a lot of immediate pressure on this team.
Yeah,
I think it's a little too defensive. I mean, the other thing is you've got two pranksters, Cotney and Klefki, and I feel like they do a little bit of similar stuff.
no,
Um, they're both fairy, but like he gets fake tears, I think, and Klefki gets metal sound.
yeah,
Um, both get sunny day, although you don't have any chlorophyll users. And then uh, I guess Klefki does get rain dance and screens, but like Cottony also has a little bit of speed control with Cotton Spore and gets Thunderwave. And I don't know, I just feel like they're.
Yeah, they're kind of the
But like
same
then
role.
again, I mean, but at the
yeah,
same time, I can see you just looking at tier fours and being like, I don't see anything super useful in grabbing Cottony. So like,
yeah,
I also understand that a little bit, but the other thing was I think with Moltres, like obviously Comfey is a great partner. But if just having like a fast Volt switcher or maybe a fast weak draining kisser or something like that would be nice. I mean, there's obviously the Lichen Rock with Excel Rock, but um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like
yeah.
a fast Volt switcher would have been nice um, for Moltres.
Yeah, honestly, I did like a lot of my higher picks. I really like Moltres and Klefki, and I'm really a big fan of Marowak and Lycanroc. But I did feel like it came really weak when it came to Contney and Lileep and Corsola, right? Those three mons I'm definitely thinking about trading away. So Yeah, definitely not my strongest team. I am really excited though. And so we'll see how it goes. I've been liking my prep so far, but it's definitely a weaker team. And so
All right then,
It-
enough
yeah.
said, I guess. On to
Mhm.
our next team that somehow ended up being our second place finisher from last season. You, Goomer. Where did you rank
Yeah,
yourself?
I ranked myself pretty low. I think I ranked myself 20th, but I did have the pretzels low as well, so that's why both ended up down there.
Wow, interesting.
Um,
You went for the option of like 4 tier 2s.
yes, I did, which is ironic because I talked about that in my video. Like, I don't know if I would actually really like that. Um, the the problem was I had like kind of 5 picks I sort of wanted, and after that, it just kind of became a
Fill the gap.
garbage dump of what was left over, and I didn't like plan too much about what I wanted. Like, going into this, no intention of getting Stack Attack as a tier 1. Like, I just kind of adjusted and was like, okay, let's go with that. Like, so I kind of uh, I thought that I would be able to just kind of sift through what was left over once I got like the 5 picks I wanted or something like that. And then honestly, like people kept taking like some really good picks, and then I was kind of left with like, oh crap, actually there's not a lot of good mons left, and I had to sort of adjust. And um like, I know at one point I was really looking for a fairy because I don't have a fairy on this team, but I was looking at like what's left, and I was like, okay, there's like Wigglytuff in tier 4, and it's like, do I like, or
You
maybe
need a
Rapidash
fairy that
Galar,
bad.
but I was like I already have 2 psychics, but I was like, well, I would have liked a fairy if I had a dragon, but I was like, honestly, I don't have a dragon either, so I was like, well, screw it, I don't need a fairy.
yeah.
I don't know. So I just kind of steered into what my team was already offering, and tried to utilize it that way. But I am trying to try out some new mons I haven't really used too much, so I think they'll be really fun.
Does Meowstic get Psychic Terrain as a move?
Yeah,
Yeah, it does.
Interesting.
I
Yeah, I
think
mean, I
it's
thought
Psychic and Misty.
you got a lot of good mons. So like,
Yeah.
as far as like team cohesion goes, that's a different story. But like, they're just good mons
I
and,
feel
and
like
a good coach. That's all you really need.
Yeah.
it looks like a singles team.
It does look like a
It,
single team.
it almost does, yeah.
um, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, some of these I'm really excited to try out. And but the other thing is I really almost took advantage of the grace and like switched out like 5 of these mons. But at the same time, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try them out. I'm going to see what happens. And if we're feeling shaky, I do have like a couple transactions planned out,
Yeah.
to like really shake up the team, and then you know, go from there. But we'll try it out as it is now,
Yeah.
and see what happens.
And yeah, I think there are a lot of like just really good mons on your team. I think Tornadus Therian is so underrated. And so I'm really excited what you have planned for it because I think it's a really, really good draft mon and people just don't see how powerful it is. Um, but as for synergy, I feel like there's a couple stuff lacking. You guys know I love type cores. And when you don't have
This is like the
fire on the
worst team in
grass
terms of type course.
or fantasy, it's just like, that was the reason why I put it so low. It's just um yeah, defensively it doesn't seem amazing. Um just a lot of pretty frail mons other than Blissey. And Stack Attacker. So
Fair enough. So should we move on to the next team, which I believe was the St. Lucie Luxray?
Do it.
I've not like seen this team at all yet, so
Awesome. You're getting fresh looks, initial impressions.
yep. Okay. Alright, straight up Cobalion Dracovish. Interesting. Oh, and he got Politoed. Oh, and Hippowdon. He's got like weather options. Beartic, Stoutland. Good lord. Charmeleon random at the end. Um, this isn't bad, I think. I think he's definitely got like a plan in mind.
yeah.
like Sandra Strigovish, you got like Swift Swim, Bertic, just like strong dual Fisher Friends in the rain is always a threat. Stoutland for the sand mode as well. It's not too bad really. I think but it's quite like one dimensional, I guess.
Yeah,
So
I do think. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, my take on this was um like a good rain mode, and you do have like the Hippowdon Stoutland stuff, obviously, or I guess and Hippowdon Dracovish. So good weather modes. But other than that, like um I just don't see anything that really stands out. Like Charmeleon feels like a little bit of a throwaway. I mean, maybe it was like just to get a tier 5 beat up mon, but it's you have to scarf it anyways, and I don't know, it just feels like a little bit of a throwaway there. Um, in addition, this team looks really, really intimidate weak.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there's no special attack really, is there?
I mean, just Politoed, Slurpuff can be, and then Mr. Mime, but yeah, I just I don't know. I feel like if it had like maybe like a really good beat up user or a really strong fast special attacker, um, like could be really nice. But
Yeah,
even like with the Kofagriga's Trick Room, like I don't see any like huge Trick Room abusers.
Offensive Hippowdon is
Yeah,
a thing.
yeah. I mean, yeah, Hippowdon is definitely really strong with that 112 attack. But the other problem is like I almost feel like swapping. I mean, I guess if you wanted to get a tier 3 hand setter, that'd be nice. But like Gigalith would have been much better there because Gigalith at least benefits from the special defense and it's a little bit slower.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, he could just want to try out different stuff. I mean, like Politoed. I think there's some cool stuff like with the Politoed, like either setting rain for like big damage Fishious Wrens or Swiftswim Beartic, Swiftswim Armaldo. Like I think all that's really cool. Yeah, some of the other stuff, I feel like Cobalion switched out for like a better tier 1 could make this team really interesting potentially.
Yeah, if there's any
mm-hmm.
like decent special attacking tier 1s. I saw like a funny meme the other day where it showed Cobalion has a weaker attack stat than Mudbray.
Cobalion has a weaker attack stat than a lot of things, but it's. I mean, I do like Cobalion in general. I just don't know how well it'll fit on this team.
Yeah. I think my main problem is that it's just a bit too weather dependent. Like, I mean, there's a lot of people who have Cloud9 users or some way to change the weather, and it's really not going to be incredibly consistent, right? I mean, like for example, right? The Luxrays are with me and Ted, right? And so Ted has Licky Licky, right? And there's not a lot he can do when the weather is just completely gone. And so, and then my other problem is Fire Water Grass Score. It's just like, you know,
doesn't count.
And there's no grass.
Yeah, and there's no grass. Exactly. Is like he's going to have a lot of problems hitting some things. And when you just got, those couple of abusers, especially all intimidate weak, it does feel like he can be really weak. And when you have no way to set up Cobalion as well, it's just I don't feel like it's a consistent team.
All right, well,
That's
hopefully
fair.
White Rabbit can prove us wrong in some way. The next team we have is the Middle Village P-Dubs. Again, I've not really looked at this team. I've not really looked at any team apart from like some of the ones in my division, I guess. Okay, and so
I thought I thought this team was a little bit better than Goomy and Ted gave it credit for, but
I mean, there's some strong ones here. Like Incineroar is obviously very good. Zapdos, Gyarados, Latias. But then it kind of drops off. Fungus, obviously very good redirection. Charger Bug to supercharge your Latias and Zapdos. If it actually gets used effectively this season.
You could just set up sticky webs.
That was literally
Yeah.
Tyrann of last season.
Or Dig.
I think my main problem with this team, one reason is I did knock people off for having a -3 weakness, and or more, right? So, and Old Rum did have a -3 weakness.
Rock.
He has like 1 ice resist and 4 ice weaknesses, and so
Oh yeah.
that's just a big problem with this team, right? Is you're gonna have some mons, they're just gonna have a really easy time beating these teams, right?
He's just got 4
So
rock weaknesses.
yeah, as well. And so it's like, and I don't think he has I don't think he doesn't have the fantasy core either, right? So I feel like a steel type would have been really good, especially because you have those ice and rock weaknesses, right? You're able to fill out, that
Yeah,
type
the steel
core,
type
and
would
you
have been
also have
nice.
a really
Just
good
just
type.
a
Yeah,
rock resist.
exactly.
So
So
Nidoking, but
I actually think this team has a lot of potential. Like, um, he has redirection.
yeah,
I think he has some pretty solid typings, even though he doesn't have that fantasy core, like you said. Like, I think for the most part, like especially those top 5 mons there, like Incineroar, Zapdos, Gyarados, Latias, Sylveon, like super scary. Nidoking, I think can be really threatening, especially like you can Tailwind Latias, you can just put it next to Airstream Zapdos or Gyarados, you can redirect stuff with Fungus, like that's all really solid. Impidimp, I think, is a great tier 5 pick, because of a prankster. And then, you can just do some annoying stuff with it,
I learned it doesn't
rather
get
than like,
screens. During the draft, I learned that apparently Impidimp doesn't get screens.
yeah, it does not.
yeah, that is weird, but it still gets some annoying stuff like Trick, Fake Tears,
Yeah.
out. So like, and I think and Charger Bug, I think yeah, if it's utilized well, like it could be interesting. Like throw it next to Latias or Zapdos, get that boost. I think that kind of interesting. Or even Sylveon, but
Yeah,
or I guess Nidoking. Wow, I didn't realize that. But my main type with this team was not the Steel type. I mean, that would be nice, but it was actually the Chansey pick because I don't
yeah,
know if anyone gets guard split on this. I mean, or you could just put 3 VDL, making a bulky bulky special defense. But you already have Sylveon and Latias, which have really good special bulk. So like, I don't know what he plans to do with it. And the other thing is he's already got a normal type with X-Cloud. So like if he swapped that Chansey, honestly, for like anything decent, like I don't know, maybe I guess he has Latias as a Trick Room user, but like just anything decent, I think could make it a really really interesting team and probably bump it up some spots.
Yeah, like that steel type.
So
There's not a lot of steel types knocking around in FA anymore, but
yeah,
maybe like a fighting type that could be like swap Chansey for a fighting. I don't know.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think definitely he's got some absolute threats, and Incineroar is obviously just like a top tier support mon. So
Yeah, for sure.
Plus, he's got double intimidate, which is really interesting. I mean, you could go Moxie with Gyarados, but like you could really shut down
physical
hackers,
teams.
and then like Latias with good special bulk, like Latias could go off. Like it's no, it's interesting.
Alrighty, so what was the next team? The Manitans. I was surprised to see these so low.
Manitans or Darmanitans?
Massachusetts Manitans.
Okay.
Yeah, like this Sandcore straight up, like Dracozolt, T-Tar, Colossal, Aquajet to South Proc. How was this like?
Not scared.
Number 20.
I mean, I can go off on why I ranked it a little bit lower. I'm not super big on the type cores, but like I do think he has some interesting modes. I don't like if I'm going to draft Colossal, especially with how many good, like how much potential you have out there. I'm not going to just draft an Aquajetter or a Surfer. I'm going to draft both. So I think the lack of a Surf Pokemon for Colossal is really tough because if you just draft Redirection,
yeah,
or if you Redirection or Fake Out, then you can just shut down, Caracosta there. So that's That's not great. In addition, like he does have the sand mode. I mean, maybe he leaned a little too much into it. I guess I don't know. Well, I guess he's got Drake's ult and Sand Slash. Um, but the other thing is um he's super intimidate weak. Like he really doesn't have any special attackers except for Colossal. I mean, like and Slow King Galar, I guess. But you've got to like set him up and trick room or something. Like if you have like think about facing a team like the Pidovs. If the Pidovs just cycled two Intimidator users, like I feel like he would just destroy this team.
Yeah.
Especially if he like shut down Colossal. But um, I guess you can do Corviknight Mirror Armor, but like still intimidating your other Pokemon. So
Mirror Armor would be amazing if it blocked Intimidate on your partner as well.
Yeah.
that's true. But the other thing is his fastest Mon is 105. I mean, yeah, I guess he does have the weather modes, but if somebody else gets control of the weather, that makes him
That's
really
the
tough.
Shell, right? Yeah.
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 I do like that he has Oranguru and Miancho for inner focus stuff because you can't just freely fake out, like if you're planning on faking out Caracosta or something. But as much as I love Delibird, I mean, I don't know how useful it'll be. Interesting. But I guess it's for a tier 5, it's not bad because it does have fake out. Yeah, I don't know. I think he
will
just
struggle to get Colossal going.
Yeah.
Mhm,
And
exactly.
I think it's also important when you're thinking about Colossal is that everyone knows what it's going to do. And when you're building around a Colossal team, I think redirection is incredibly crucial. And I also think you have to have a lot of other options. And I don't see a ton of that here. He also, yeah, as Goomer said, he's very intimidate weak. I think Corviknight and Slowking kind of help with that a little. But it still is a problem. And I don't know. The lack of redirection was pretty much the main reason why I put him so low, is because like Dracozolt, Tyranitar, Colossal, Corviknight, all with redirection, can be incredibly scary threats and things that are incredibly hard to stop. And so he has a lot of that firepower, but he doesn't have fantastic ways of supporting them. So that's really my main gripe with the team.
One of the other
Yep.
things is that he's got 5 on weaknesses. He's a Tyranitar Colossal, 3 of his top Mons, and then Low King and Caracosta. And then in addition to that, like if you are gonna pick Pokemon for Colossal, like I like picking ones that can do different stuff. So like if you're picking Primarina for Aqua Jet, yeah, you can do Primarina Aqua Jet, but you can do a lot of other stuff with them. I haven't used Caracosta that much, but just in like just checking out its move pool, its stats and whatnot. I feel like it can't do too much on its own.
He said,
So it's
I hard sniped him for Quillfish. I think he wanted Quillfish as his procker. For
see,
entering
that would have
Intimidate
been
as well.
great. Yeah, right. That would have been great. So that does make it tough if you get sniped like that. But
Yeah.
But I got the Quillfish. So what's the next team? Seismitoads, the Jeff
Toads.
City Toads. Where are they? ABCD. There we are. Okay, so this is a new coach, the first of the new coaches on our list here.
Get to play him. My cross division match.
All right. He's got some cool stuff here. Like to get top tier support, Excadrill. He hasn't got sand. No. Okay. Got some trap and stuff with like, is it Gmax any or not? It doesn't look like it. Does it say here if they are?
I do not believe it's Gmax Duraludon or Centiskorch.
Oh yeah, I assumed it was going to be for the trapping stuff, but if it's not, that's interesting.
Gothitelle as well, obviously, with the Shadow Tag.
Right. Yeah, that was my thought there, and like maybe some switches and stuff, and Gastrodon's kind of stally sometimes. So.
Again, I feel like this is another team kind of like yours, Goomer, where there's like a lot of good mons, but not a whole lot of synergy going on.
Honestly, I would have loved it if he got something like Gigalith or Tyranitar, because he does have 2 Sand Mons, right? he has Excadrill, and he also has Gastrodon, who can potentially use some work, right? Even though, that's not a likely option, but when it comes to Draft League, having a lot of options is great. And I don't feel like he has a lot of options. He doesn't have a lot of space, right? Togekiss, great Mon. Easily the best Mon on his team. But after that, it just doesn't really go too far. And he's also missing the Fire Rod Grass Core. So I think it's a good team, and I think it has some potential. It's just compared to a lot of the other teams in the draft, it lacks versatility.
Yeah, that's fair. I think.
Go for it, Gert.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think that's fair. It's the moods. It's got the redirection. It's got trick room. It's got fake out. Togekiss does get Tailwind, I believe, but it's not a great user of it. Is that right, or is that only
I think
legacy?
I think it's a transfer.
It doesn't get
Yeah.
Tailwind anymore now.
Yeah. Okay, so no Tailwind, but that's not entirely necessary. I don't believe. I mean, yeah, it's okay. Like I said, I think it's like a lot of good mons, just not necessarily put together correctly. But we'll see. I mean,
And
it's.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's interesting. Oh, I'm gonna say I just don't think it has a ton of immediate pressure, power. Yeah, like Excadrill does have that, but like again, he doesn't have like a sand users, and it's like only 88 speed
like
on Excadrill.
Yeah, like a post 100 speed mon. I guess Zoroark, but you're not really using that as an offensive. You're using that to try and trick them into something, aren't you?
Exactly.
Right.
And he does like some of that faster speed control as well, which is a big problem when you have mons like Duraludon, Togekiss, and Excadrill all on your team, because you want to give them that way to have a fast mode and just blast things with a Life Orb or with Quick Kiss, right? And not having that, I feel like, is a big detriment to his team.
Agreed.
I think the other thing is, I know Goomy's big on the cores. My big things are speed and versatility, and also like throwaway mons. Like, I really don't like seeing like Dwebble and Haunter down there, because I would be very shocked if they came a total of more than 3 times. Like, I just don't see him using Dwebble and Haunter.
You can do much like, if there was like a bottom tier that's purely there to like self proc with a priority move, I like would accept that. But like Dwebble literally does nothing. Haunter, I guess, does get Shadow Sneak, doesn't it? Maybe does Gengar get Shadow Sneak?
I actually don't. I feel like it. For some reason, I feel like it doesn't, but I don't know. Just because I've never seen anybody use it.
And it would only ever work for Gothitelle on this team anyway, so it's not fantastic.
The other thing is he's got like I see that he's got like I can see some of the stuff going on. Like, right, he has Excadrill, Duraludon, both weak to ground. So then he grabs some Levitate users / flying, and like, yeah, you've got Gastrodon to redirect like water from Excadrill and Scorch, and then it's covered by the Scorch, so that's kind of cool. But like, there are some options for sure, but
I mean, like,
just don't.
Excadrill Kiss Gastro was like quite a common core in some of the early like Series 2 maybe BGC. Like, they were thereabouts quite early on.
Yeah.
So we'll see how the Jeff City Toads and the coach is Oatmeal, I believe. Is it Oatmeal?
Yeah, Oatmeal.
So welcome, Oatmeal, to the VDL. Next team is the Suffolk Suicune, who is new, but at the same time isn't. He was here for last season for the draft, but dropped out before game 1, so he's back again. I managed to get in contact with him and persuade him to come back for season 4. And here's his team. What did we think of this?
I think we all ranked him pretty similarly. It was, I think he has pretty good typings and mons. My biggest thing was I did, and like again, this could totally just be because I didn't draft this team, but like I personally just don't see a ton of synergy with this team. But like individual mons, like I love a ton of these picks. Um, I just don't see the combos and synergy with this team.
I don't
Yeah,
feel like there's a lot of
100% agreed.
support on this team.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
and I think on top of that as well is like when he was drafting, he got a lot of mons in lower tiers that weren't necessarily steals. So a lot of his top tier picks, um, just aren't as good as I feel like they could be. And they just lack so much synergy, right? And we talked about throwaway mons like just Vulpix Alola sitting right there. Um, and not a great way to proc a weakness policy on Guzzlord in Trick Room. Not a great way to even set up Trick Room,
Vulpix gets nice shine.
because you have no redirection or anything. Obviously, you do have Chandelure in Gardevoir, but just I do feel like it's too supportive, and even the support he has doesn't really help a lot of his offensive mons.
No, yeah, I think that's sort of what I was saying. I don't think it holds a lot of support. I don't particularly think Rillaboom is a great draft mon for VGC. So he's taking it as the tier 1 pick. I think it was fine when it was like a Gmax pick, but yeah, I'm not too hot on Rillaboom as your only tier 1. But I mean,
I think
Rillaboom is
it's
obviously
fine.
insanely powerful.
Yeah,
But
I like Rillaboom. I think if you pair it with some stuff, I just don't see anything here that pairs super well with Rillaboom. Um, but I don't know. Like I think Reiku's is interesting. Um, I was looking at Guzzlord. I think it is interesting, but again, you have Chandelure and Gardevoir as your Trick Room setters, which aren't the bulkiest. So
Mm-hmm.
um, that also could make it tough. Um,
you've got like Scrappy Fake out there, so you
and
can always like just like a fake out Trick Room. But then
right,
yeah,
that's true. You do have crappy fake outs, nice. Um, yeah, I just I'm not a like I love the idea of Clawitzer. I think it's like cool with like its unique ability and stuff. I've just never really seen it work, and I don't know. I'm not ecstatic about that pick. Um, Pterodactyl I do kind of like. I really like speed tier, and it's a little bit underrated, so it's nice. Well, just in general, I think tier 2 is maybe fair for it. Maybe you could argue tier 3, but like I just think a lot of people will gloss over it. But I think Unnerve's a really nice ability for it, and
for Arrow.
yeah, I don't know. I just don't see the synergy. But again, maybe Toots has got stuff in the bag, and we just don't see it,
Yeah.
and then he brings it out. So
I think it's good when we don't see it, to be honest. Like, it's nice to try and obviously analyze, but when we get
yeah,
surprises, that's the best way.
100%. Like I know Taco was talking about how he was like when he was going through his teams, he was like, oh wow, there's so much hidden synergy, and it's like if you have that, like you just don't see it. That's awesome. I would love for it if
Yeah.
somebody was going over my draft and was like, I don't see any synergy. Like, it's like perfect. I don't
Yeah.
want you to know my plans. I do think the Vulpix Alola was also kind of a weird pick at the bottom. Like I think getting
Have
a
any
Hail
hail
abuser,
abuser,
which
yeah.
I think there's a decent amount of them out there too. It's like that would be awesome.
Yeah, true. Alright, so now we're on to Lucian and Rebellion.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny what Tyler said in the chat the other day. Like, draft teams are either alliterative, like a current sports team that you've just changed to fit Pokemon, or Rebellion.
Yeah.
And his team, oh, he's got Goodra, of course. Of course.
Of course.
His tier 1s are Porygon 2 and Regieleki. Pink Urchin. Okay, I see Rise and Voltage come in. Scraggy. Beat up for Lucario. Okay, yeah, I see some stuff here. Don't really see the need for P2. What you
Yeah, I
setting Trick
agree.
Room for?
You could use Patrician in Trick Room. or Wailord potentially.
Yeah, you could.
You could.
You could.
And he probably will now we've said this. Um,
You
Yeah.
go Iron Ball Regieleki.
Yeah, that's a great move, dude.
I think we'll be seeing Comfy Gudra most weeks, though, don't you?
Yeah, agreed. I mean, that's just. I mean, Lucian got wrecked by Comfy in quarters last season, right? So
Yeah.
seeing how powerful Comfy could be right next to his favorite Mon, I think that's the backbone of this team. Other than that, he has a 4 times weakness to Fairy, including resistances. So that's just a really big problem. When a type or a Mon can just come in and destroy your whole team, there is a big problem with that. So I love the Silvally pick, but other than Silvally, Comfy, and Gudra, I feel like this team falls flat in a lot, and I don't understand the Regieleki pick or the P2 pick.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Go on, you go, Goomer.
I think Regieleki and P2 are just good mons in general. Like,
Mhm.
I know there was a team on ladder that used like offensive P2, and it was like doing really well. Back in Series 7, and like obviously, I think regarding the fairy weakness, I mean, it is Lucian, so I think he's always going to have a ton of fairy weaknesses with those dragons, but he welcomes it. And I mean, I think he's got some. I think he's got some. Hmm,
It's the three
I think
dragons.
he's got some nice combos. I don't. I mean, the Dracloak, maybe he was just going for another dragon. I don't know, or a ghost, but
I think
like,
it's beat up
oh,
for
really.
Lucario.
Oh, right. I forgot about Lucario Justified. Yeah. But the thing is, he does have 3 ground weaknesses with his electric mode and then Lucario, and then I don't know if people start setting up max quakes like that could just up against P2 Gudra or Wailord if they decide to go special too. So I think
I mean,
max
that's
quakes could make it tough for him.
kind of the beauty of Silvally. You can patch up your weaknesses and just make it whatever type you need it to be if you're going to go down
Yeah.
that route. I kind of really wanted Silvally, but I couldn't fit it into my plan. But I did really kind of want it. I just kind of bit gutted I couldn't really fit it in.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think
Tried using Savalian draft, and me personally, I just found it a little hard. It's also like a headache to use because you have so many options of types to use with it. It's just annoying to like settle on something, or if you just go with a different mode and don't even use a type and use like just a different item. So it's it can be a headache
yeah,
to
it
draft
sucks
with,
that
honestly. But
the multi attack seeing like base 90 power on a max move, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just sucks.
yeah, but it is cool that you get a 120 stab move on max. So it's
Yeah, I'm sure
it's a decent trade off.
he'll show us what he can do with it. I mean, like the Regieleki can be like pure speed control for Gudra as well. Like anything Gudra's not faster than, Regieleki can do that with the webs. Um, but yeah, looking forward to see what you can do with it. And let's carry on to team. Oh, it's Kamish, Womble, and the Celesteelers.
Yeah. So I will go ahead and start by saying that last season I underestimated Womble. I learned my lesson. I actually had Womble a little bit higher because I do think this is a good team, and I learned to not underestimate Womble. Um, I really like a lot of his picks, and I think Weezing and Sceptile is just a really cool combo. Um, I was looking at getting Weezing Gigas, and I saw that Weezing gets Rain Dance, and you see that Golduck, you see that Heliolisk. Um, Weezing Archeops is cool. Blacephalon Metagross can do some stuff depending on if you do it correctly. You got Buffon's a great pick, honestly. And then I think Trevenant and Scrafty can definitely put in a lot of work. So I like pretty much every single one of his picks. And I think it's a really, really solid team. It's lacking a couple of stuff, but I think it's a really good team.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's quite cool. I want to see Weeze and Archeops in action. Metagross is obviously quite potent on its own, but I think Trevenant gets Shadow Sneak. I think um, Bouffalon probably gets like Bulldoze or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe even Heliolisk might get one of those.
I think Helios gives Bulldoze.
Yeah, so that's a good option. Um, Cephalon, you used that last season for what you were here for.
Yeah. And it's such a good offensive mod, right? You have 3 really good items you can run on it: Sash, Scarf, and Specs. And it's also one of the best Metagross counters. So, in my opinion, at least. So,
Yeah,
I
so it's
think
just yeah.
I think it was a great pickup from Mambo.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know, maybe I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, Golduck, Swift Swim, interesting stuff. Bouffalon, like I think like bulky normal types. It's not particularly bulky, but like are so good in draft you can just max them, and like the best way for them to hit you, like max knuckle when you be in base 90, like really helps normal types, I think. But we'll see what Womble can do with this. Any other thoughts before we move on?
I was gonna say that my biggest gripe is with this team is that I think like it feels like a counter team to me. Like I guess he does have some synergy here, but um I don't know. I wasn't like for example, you've got Wheezy and you can shut down people's abilities. I mean, yeah, you can do it with the Archeops, but um shut down others' abilities. You've got Golduck with Cloud9 or Swift Swim, but you also don't have a rain setter. You've got Heliolisk with weather modes, but you don't really have a way to set up weather yourself. And you've got Electrify and no real abuser of it besides Diglett. But I don't think I don't expect to see that. And then I don't know. It just doesn't seem like super threatening to me. But
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure he'll prove us wrong again, like he did last season. I think Reason's cool. He's
Yep.
got
Sure.
like 3 good abilities, so it's like quite hard. I think Neutralizing Gas is the obvious one that you're going to be bringing most weeks, but like if they've got like a threatening Dragon, you might just bring Misty Surge one week, or like a threatening Ground Type, you might bring Levitate. So
Hmm.
there are options. So the next team is the Ninja Squirtles. And it's coming up. Okay, I've not seen this team yet. He's got Blastoise again, like last season.
Mm-hmm.
Tangela. I like when Tangela went on the like the FA. Someone dropped it. I was there. I'm in a 9. I'm in a 9. Should I pick up? Should I pick it up? And then Casey just swooped in and took it before I could make my mind up.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get it. Go ahead then, boys. What do you think of this?
Um,
I think he's got some good fast and slow modes. I like seeing like the Jolteon and the Noivern, and then like even Entei's pretty fast too. But then you've also got like the Glacier, Mimikyu, and or like Steelix, like slow mode stuff. So I do like those different modes. Um, but at the same time, like he got fast Noivern Tailwind, but like I don't see a ton of people who like would want to abuse Tailwind on this team. Like, I mean, you could argue like maybe Pangoro, but like and Noivern and Pangoro are both weak to Fairy, so a Fairy lead would kind of counter that. Like
Blastoise, maybe.
Glacier and Steelix, I guess maybe Blastoise, but at the same time, it's like if you want to set Blastoise's speed, usually people just redirect and Shell Smash. Like you could go Tangle, Shell Smash, or something.
Yeah.
The other problem is if you do have a setup mon that's weak to grass, I don't like getting Rage Powder redirectors because you
Yeah.
can just
Yeah.
ignore it with grass.
Yeah.
So
mhm.
that's another thing that's a little tough. And then like this also, I'm always gonna say it, but the Vulpix Ferroseed, I don't like the tier 5s. I just don't see him bringing those. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even remember my tier
Uh,
5s now. I don't know what you're gonna say about mine.
I think you might have gotten good ones. We'll see. Oh no.
Right, we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, So the one thing I think about this team is like Mimikyu is your only Trick Room setter for like Steelix and Glastrier. So I don't think Mimikyu's the strongest Trick Roomer. Like, and obviously you obviously get the disguise, so you get a free hit, but then you've got like no bulk to it at all. If you double into it, you know, taunt, all sorts of things. I don't particularly like Mimikyu as my Trick Room setter, but that's just me.
It's just you, Gert. I like it. You can't fake it out, and you have to double into it. And instead, he could just switch it. So, like, I think it is really annoying because you don't have to waste a sash on it either. So, um, especially if you just like if you throw a mental herb on it, like you've pretty much got guaranteed trick room up. And the thing is, you don't have to use glacier and trick room. So, um, definitely use glacier outside of trick room, and it does perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, that's fair. Anything else before we move on? Nope. Okay, so next team is Ted's Licky Lickies. Rebranded yet again.
Yep.
this might be his best rebrand, though. I think this is a really good team.
And he's picked up the mascot Licky Licky. Toxtricity, I always love. Okay, so Barraskewda and Venusaur. Does Riolu get like Sunny Day Rain Dance?
Does, which I didn't know that, but I checked it after I saw his team. I was like, it has to, because there's no way he would pick those up. Yeah, and it does.
Okay, that makes more sense. I like Frostmoth. Frostmoth's one of those mons that I would like love to try and make work, but me.
Yeah.
Grimstar's obviously an insanely good support mon. I like this team. I do like this team. What's other people's thoughts?
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's cool because he's got weather modes of his own, but he can also shut down weather with Licky Licky. I think the dual prankster here, like unlike Goomy's team, like I think Grimmsnarl and Riolu are very, very different prankster users. So I think that's pretty cool. I like a lot of the versatility. The tier 5s are fine. Like he picked up an intimidate user, and then Quagsire, like he didn't have ground type, so it's fine. I think Barraskewda being one of the 2 Pokemon that can ignore redirection is also really interesting. It can mess with people's strats, so it just makes it a little bit more annoying. And yeah, I don't know. I think he's got a lot of options here. I feel like.
Yeah.
So.
I see Riolu coaching coming quite a lot.
Yeah, it's not a bad team. I think for me, the triple weather kind of sets like it's just weird to me. Latios gets Sandstorm. I'm not sure if Ted knows that, but Latios and Mike Rock midday is a potential thing you could do. And just Venusaur Barraskewda just seems a bit weird to me. I don't know. Even though they do obviously have, sun, sand, or sun, rain. It feels a bit off. And then I think with Grimmsnarl, it's good to get a lot of defensive mons. And I feel like the only really good defensive, like the only good mon that's going to work well with screens is Licky Licky. And so even though, Ted loves Licky Licky and he's going to use it a lot, I think that's a pretty weak part of his team. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I like it, and I think it's a good team, and he'll definitely have a lot of success, but it just catches me a bit off guard.
That in my criticism as well is that his team is a little bit like it has really good power and modes, but it isn't super defensive, and he doesn't have redirection. So I think that's going to make it really tough.
Yeah, exactly.
If people can, if people can abuse that.
That's what we think of Ted's draft. I like Frustricity. I think he did pick up the G-Max. I remember seeing his little graphic, so it's a bit of speed control there with that. But there's not like any immediate speed control unless he's got like Thunderwave, Riolu, or the weathers on anything else. Oh yeah, Thunderwave Grims now. But yeah, the next team is another new team, the New Jersey Jettisons, and Coach Cheesy. This is
This
again.
team, I probably have to throw up my notes for because he made like 6 trades in the last like 5 hours or something. He
Yeah,
was making so many trades, wasn't he? I think.
he made like a solid amount of trades. Yeah,
All right, so I see Lele Thievul right off the bat, very good. Rain with
as you would know.
Pelipper and Seismitoad, Talonflame, just like
Mm,
Tailwind all over
It's
everything.
good for it's good for Cartana too.
Yeah, Cartania and Rain is pretty beasty. Um, Orbital for your Trick Room. Dedenne is a good tier 5. I used that in season 2. Like, you get Electro Webs for speed control, you get entrainments, just trying to delete abilities, and
Yeah,
then hit on top, fake out and intimidate. Very good. I like this team.
think it's pretty solid. And again, he's got a Talonflame with Tailwind. He's got some better abusers of Tailwind on this team versus like I think Ninja Squirtles, like Lele, Como. Um, those are both really solid in Tailwind.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. I do wish he had a stronger trickery mode because, like, I feel like when it comes to fast modes, there's a lot of things that could maybe just quickly get rid of a lot of the mons on this team. And so I don't really like the, all in when it comes to this fast and rain mode. Um, it is a solid team. I would say redirection is a big thing for me. And also the -3 to flying. Having flying as a typing that you're really weak to is just horrible. It's really, really bad. So, um, I don't know that's probably the biggest flaw with this team. But I think it's a good team and has a lot of offensive power.
That's not the like the minuses and the pluses. I hear what you're saying there. But like, it's also nice like when you have. Like, I agree with you here, but that's because not only is he weak to flying, but he doesn't have any flying resists. So like if like 4 of his mons were weak to flying, but he had a resist, that'd be fine. But like his only flying resist is dead end, and that's no
Not the
super
strongest.
defensive anyways,
No.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, not sure what else to say here. I think I quite like what he's got. To be honest, I think it's a pretty like
Mhm.
mid team. It's like where we're at right now.
Yeah, agreed.
So the next team. Oh, it's another new team. Kung Pao Blazer Kings.
Love the name.
Yeah.
Uh,
I honestly don't know how they did this low. I think this team is insane. I had it as number 6 on mine. Um, has a lot of options, has nice typing, has good trick room, has a potential fast mode, a pretty solid fast mode. Um, I don't know. I like this team a lot, and I don't understand why it's number 12.
that's because I ranked it a lot lower. I think. I just think we just like different teams sometimes. I do not like this team.
Dude, it
Um,
has Lapras.
oh yeah, it has Lapras and Caparaja and 2 of your favorites and like redirection.
Yeah, dude, it's great. It is a
It
great
has a
team.
fire water grass.
Fire out of grass.
um, but like, here's the thing: it has redirection, but it doesn't have a lot of speed besides Chlorophyll, Fill and Bioplume. Like
Fair.
other than that, the fastest mon is Kadabra, his tier 5 at 105. You're pretty much leaning into Trick Room at that point.
Mm,
And I also don't see a ton of power besides the Capraja. Like I guess
fair.
Torkoal like get off big eruptions, but like I mean team just doesn't like you have to throw Life Orb on something to get any power out of it.
Mm,
I don't think Dusclops is nearly as useful in draft. And The Grooky feels a little bit like a throwaway, especially with already having Vileplume as a grass type.
Mm-hmm.
And then, uh, especially, and he's got other fake out users too with Pico. So I don't really see what Grooky's there for. But
Yeah.
I don't see a ton of power, and you're leaning a little too hard in the trick room with this one. Um, yeah, I don't even know like DD mail, like the psychic train, like it prevents fake out for that trick room, but like what are you gonna do with that besides like throw like Vex expanding force on it or something or expanding
Yeah.
force? Like I don't know. I think speed is what does it to me.
And
Feels too
I would
on
agree
trigger.
with you. Butterfree is not a consistent tailwind setter, especially when it's also your redirector. So, it's definitely that fast mode that is a bit of a problem. Like when I used Lapras last season, it was such a benefit to have that Tornadus as well, right? Where I could be faster than literally everything on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a lot more outlets for power than just Lapras. But in this team, I feel like Lapras is the only fast mode, uh, power mod. So, and yeah, it 100% leads a bit too more into Trick Room. So I can agree with you on that.
Yeah, I think I agree. It's gonna be a lot of Lapras. I think just getting the Veil up and then getting ones behind it because they're not too fast. Like Clops and Veil are a scary thought to be honest, but
The other tough part is like with like Torkoal and these combos, like if you set up if you bring Torkoal and you set up the Sun, well, Sun will hit
Raja.
Baraja, Lapras, Butter, like, or Lapras will be neutral and it'll still be strong, but like Butterfree, Vileplume, Grooky, and he doesn't have a single fire resist besides Flygon, well, and Torkoal, I
Yeah.
guess. But I think like Saint of the Sun is like kind of bad synergy too there. If he brings any other type of mons, so I don't know.
Yeah, agreed. They had first pick, didn't they? And they just went straight for the Lapras.
Yeah.
That's fine. I
I
mean,
didn't
prove
want
me
it anyway.
wrong.
Okay, so the next team is a pretty cool team.
Yeah. Agreed.
It's my
I'm an Ice
very
Cube
own.
fan.
You what?
I'm an Ice Cube fan. You guys know that, right? I was
Got the
one of the.
merch.
Well,
You're gonna tell me now.
the reason why I didn't reach you higher is because honestly, I don't like the Zapdos Scout pick. And
Wow.
secondly, I feel like your Trick Room's a bit lackluster. Appleton just doesn't feel like he could pick it all. I love Lightbar, dude, and I love Tapu Koko and Raichu Alola. Also Sandaconda is underrated, and I know Goomer loves Sandaconda.
Mhm.
But I don't understand the Trick Room, dude. I feel like you could have gotten a lot better abuser and just something that could blast things. And Appleton just doesn't feel like that mon.
What about Nucleus?
What about Reuniclus?
I mean, does it? It could. Okay.
That's
Reuniclus can.
125.
What if I told you
Wait, does it really have
Reuniclus isn't
125?
the only thing on my team that can set Trick Room?
Okay. Okay, that's my bad then. Reuniclus,
Hmm.
I didn't realize it had a 125 special attack. Okay. Okay. You know what? You should be higher. My bad.
Oh no. I'm not saying I should be at all. I think I kind of like rambled through the draft. Like I didn't have a plan. I was just picking things as I go. Um, I like some of my things I've got going on here. Like I was getting towards my free picks, and I had no idea what I was going to take. And I just seen Coco and a load of Raichu there, and I thought, oh, let's just take them. That's a good combo.
Yeah.
I kind of knew I wanted to use Zapdos Scalar. That was my first pick. I just like it, so I wanted to use it this season. I've no like special plans in mind for it. I just like it. Same with Sandaconda.
Okay. Fair.
And when I was,
But I will say,
go.
sorry. Okay. Yes, I will say, as an Ice Cube fan, though, I do think that
Hmm.
you're gonna win the whole division, you're gonna win the whole league, and I think this team is definitely top tier material.
Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Have you seen my group? Um,
I
Sorry, my
love
bad.
all the I love all the modes here, though. I think there's a lot of cool stuff. Obviously, Lipard Nucleus, Coco Raichu Lola, but there's even some other stuff I think is pretty cool. And man, I like 95% of this team. Who knows? The only thing I don't like, Raboot feels like a throwaway.
you think
Feel like
Rabbit's a throwaway?
if that's how I feel about it, and you can show me wrong, but uh, just I only feel like it's a throwaway because I feel like there's so many other good mons that you could throw on your team. Like I don't know, like do you'll see you have 5 mons in your team and you're using Coco. It's like do you use Raboot or do you just throw on Raichu Lola just to have that threat of Surge Surfer? It's like I just don't know how many times you're going to be able to justify throwing Raboot on there.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Um,
In our group, we have a mono bug team. I needed a fire type, and I was looking at 05. I was like, oh god.
hey, I'm in that group too, and I don't have a fire type, so I don't know. We'll see what happens, but that was actually, I mean, that was part of my thought is I was looking at some of the fire types left, and that was another thing. I was like, oh, I'll get a fire type later, and then I looked at what fire types were left at the end of the draft, and I was like, oh crap, there's like
Yeah.
not a lot of
Yeah.
good ones for the tiers that were left, and so I was like, well, guess I'm going to fire type, and I just leaned into it that way, but no, that's fair. Maybe it's not a throwaway, but I still ranked your team pretty high because I really like the modes on here. And I was gonna say with the Zapdos Galar, like especially when I was prepping against Auto, like, the Zapdos Galar was really really annoying. Um,
Yeah.
it's just I feel like it's such a good mon. And yeah, Defiant, really nice.
Until I picked up Coco, I was kind of thinking like I'm lacking speed as well because like base 100 on Zapdos was my fastest mon at that point. Light Ride as well, but not offensive. My fastest offensive mon. So picking up the Coco and Raichu, I think really bolstered my speed tiers. Um, yeah, going back to the tier 5. I originally wanted Lopunny, but then that got taken, and then I thought I was gonna go for Kingler, maybe try and go G-Max Kingler to make some use of that, but that got taken, so it's kind of what I ended up with, to be honest. I left my tier 5 too late. But yeah, I'm hoping to have fun. I've just gone with mons that I like. Like Appleton, like you said, you didn't think it's the greatest abuser of Trick Room and whatnot. I made that was a grace period trade because I noticed I had a very large ground weakness.
Fair.
So I needed
Yeah.
a resist. So I went for that.
I like Appleton. I was looking at it too actually, but yeah, hopefully you make good use of it.
I'll try to. The next team then, we're breaking into the top 10 now, I believe. We've got the season 2 champ, the Norwegian Darmanitans. Where the hell is N? There.
I thought this team was a lot better than Goomy and Ted gave it credit for. Just putting that out there.
Let me see where I ranked it.
Okay, right off the bat, I look at all these mons and I'm like, okay, awesome. All these mons are usable. I really like that. And he's just got like not even like niche mons, but just good mons and good combos, right? So Lightning Rod, Supreme Arena, beat up Dragon Bolt with Glade. Didn't get a Sand Abuser, but like Gigalith is just good in Trick Room, so
yeah,
that's kind of nice. And he's got the Togepi, which is a low tier 4 redirection, which is really really nice.
Didn't you make a trade for Gigalith? Wasn't Lucian trying to fob off Gigalith to people?
Yeah, Lucian was like, I hate Gigalith, which doesn't make any sense, but
I forgot who he swapped out there, but I assume it was another Slowmon. I don't know, but because that's really his only Trick Room counter. And I don't actually know. Oh, actually, I think Gallade does get Trick Room. But either way, I don't even think he would go Trick Room. But like Gigalith's one of those mons that if you just have it, it's like annoying for other people to set up Trick Room because it's like, oh gosh, now I gotta deal with Gigalith. He's got the Intimidate Torcat, and I really like all these picks, and think it's gonna be super, super threatening team. So I can see why he was the season 2 champ. At least based on the
Honestly,
draft.
the idea of Gigalith with Torcat and potential screens from Dragapult is just so scary. Primarina is already an incredibly bulky mon. And on top of that, he has a lot of just damage output. So it is 100% a very, very scary team. I have some bad blood with Pinsir from last season, but we're not going to talk about that. But other than that, yeah, I think it's a very, very solid team.
You can get a Mon with 125 attack and 85 speed in tier 5. I mean, that's awesome. And with Hypercutter. It's like, man. I mean, really, Pinsir has 3 good abilities. So,
Yeah.
it's like almost never drafted and used. So I get why it's tier 5, but it's still, I think it's a solid pick down there, especially because he didn't have another bug type. So
I'd like to see
Yeah.
Eldegoss being used effectively. Like,
Mhm.
Cotton Down isn't a bad ability if you're trying to control speed. But then
Yeah.
you've got like Dragapult, so speed isn't a massive worry for this team. But yeah, very good team. I'm excited to see if he's going to try and come back and take his title back after
Yeah.
taking a break last season. Who have we got on number 9? We have
Scraggies.
Scraggies. Tyler.
Tyler and the Scraggies.
Tyler just seems to draft like consistently good teams. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Rotom Heat is a returning Scraggy from last season. Ooh, okay, Vanillix and Arctivish. That's like a Matrix special.
Yeah.
Wacky.
yeah, I always think of Matrix when I see that now.
Yeah. I swear he's got it in like other leagues as well.
Mhm.
Drifblim. Okay, Drifblim and Terrain. Morgrem, fantastic tier 4 pick. Just like a slightly less bulky Grimmsnarl.
Yeah. And Porygon's actually not bad too. It's just like 20 base stats less than Porygon 2. So like with Eviolite, it's still not terrible. And
Yeah.
Did anyone watch that video from, I think it was UGA when he got destroyed by Thwacky? Or was that, it might have been
yeah, so
VDL.
I was gonna say I wonder if he after that battle he was like, all right, I'm drafting Thwacky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's what that was.
And Rotom Heat is just is a really solid tier 1 too. So that's nice.
You see, honestly, my biggest problem is Rotom Heat. I think it's a solid team. I used Rotom Heat in the draft, and it just feels like such an underwhelming pick. And I feel like as a tier 1, you want something going to be better. It is a very, very solid team though. And that's just my personal opinion on Rotom Heat in draft. So
That was like going back to my draft. I have only one tier 1 and it's Stakataka. And my problem is like I don't know if I'm going to bring Stakataka every week, and you don't want that as a tier 1. And I mean, I just kind of just for it and wanted to try them out, so I think they'll be interesting. But from Heat, I think you could bring that every game and you'd be fine.
fair, yeah. I mean, I just see it as like a tier 2, really. I don't feel
That's
like
fair.
it's
That's
too
fair.
valuable in tier 1. But I see what you mean. So
I think it's like a great switching option for almost his entire team. Like electric resist for Drift, ground immunity for Raichu, fire immunity for Vanillux, electric immunity for Arctivish. But like, is that really what you're looking for in your tier 1? Is the thing. But yeah, that solid team. I'm sure he'll make very good use of it.
Yeah. I think he's got really good supports and stuff. I think the only thing is I wish he had a little bit more immediate offense, like besides the hail mode. Then
agreed.
He's also got 3 not fully evolved Pokemon, so those 3 lower picks. But like they're all solid, but it makes it hard to
you
multiple
can't bring more than one Eviolite
ones.
Yeah, exactly.
You could definitely sash like Morgan or Thwacky though, but it'd be nice to use that on somebody else.
Especially when you got a mon like Raichu there. So
yeah, I mean you could go like Light Clay, Sash, Eviolite with like Morgrem, Thwacky, Porygon. It's definitely an option.
I hope he brings all of them one game.
We should challenge him to do that. Right.
Choice
So
Bandit Thwacky.
it's Titar Sources up next. Did you and Saki like talk about your draft as you were going through it?
We briefly talked about it midway through, yeah. Um, so some of
He's
these
gone for the
picks are a little bit Goomer inspired, but um, most of them
Basher's
have no. And
MVP from last season.
Yeah.
oh my gosh, Celesteela is like it, again. I could have taken Celesteela, but like I want to try different mons. But like, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, Celesteela is in my top easy. I think top 5 of draft mons, especially for a top tier. Like it is so good.
Yeah.
All physical or special. Um, great ability, great typing. Just works on every team. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean being only weak to electric and fire, and then you've got like Crocodile there for the electric. It's kind of like sort of a knockoff. Like you had Garchomp last season to come in for Celesteela.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Crook instead. Oh, Tyrantrum's right there as well. I like Tyrantrum.
Also, that Togetic Crocodile is something that's so scary. Because if there's a team that's just weak to ground, like, and doesn't have a solid way of being Togetic, like, he just auto wins, right? Um, so, and I really like a lot of the synergy here. I think that's why it's, such a high rated team, is because there's just a lot of solid synergy, um, a lot of mons that are very versatile, right? Like Crocodile,
Yeah.
Intimidate or Moxie, right? Spectre, support or special. Celesteela, physical, special or support or defensive, right?
That's
It's
what's so
just
good about Celesteela.
so much versatility in the team, and it's really good.
And Purloin is a tier 4 prankster user. That's really nice.
Yeah.
My initial gripe when he was drafting was that he had drafted Celesteela, Togetic, and he had Walrein, and I was like thinking like, oh man, his team's gonna be super electric weak. Then in the Crocodile and Emolga as immunities, and then Tyrantrum and Executor resist it. It's like honestly not
Yeah,
super
it's not too
electric
bad.
weak now.
Yeah.
It's like oh, it's a really solid team. He's got a lot of different types, a lot of different modes. Immediate pressure with like the Spectrier. Like I really love Spectrier in draft too. Actually, I know some people don't like it. They think it's a little bit too trick pony. It's but it's like one of those where it's like, yeah, it's just gonna like it's able to just throw off a huge life orb, fast max phantasm. But sometimes you just can't stop that. So it's really annoying.
And when you're doing that, and then you can like lower the defensive with Max Phantasm, and then you've got like Crocodile right there and Tyrantrum right there with a massive attack stat to just sweep up on that.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. Because you didn't really think like the support being the defense drops on Spectre, but it really can be.
Yeah.
So, on to the next team. This is a longie.
Yeah. You know, maybe
It's
go a little faster.
Matrix and the Welsh Wailords.
Yeah, we can just agree it's a bad draft and move on. I'm fine.
Yeah.
And why is it a number
No
2?
redirection? Trash team, dude.
I'm kidding. I actually ranked him. Wait, did I rank him high? Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, Rapidash was the other fire
yes.
type I wanted in tier 5, and he took it.
Yeah, no, I love Rapidash as a tier 5. I think that's really solid. No, I did rank him really high actually.
This was the first Matrix team I rated in top 10. So, props to Matrix, dude.
And Dragonite as his final pick. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Oh, Dragonite was his final pick. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think he's got a lot of cool combos and team in general. He's got Prankster, Fake Out, fast and slow modes. The only thing with why I think I ranked him as like 5th, but the reason why it wasn't like higher is that he's got I think 6 fairy weaknesses. Is that right? Dragonite, Terrakion, Sableye, Weavile, Drampa, Shiftry. And then he does have Rapidash and Magneton which resist, but he doesn't have a poison type, and Magneton is your only steel type to counter fairy. It's like you know, um,
My
Yeah.
sounds nice.
like
When you stick an EVL out on it, and it's still got like what is it, 120 special attack?
yeah.
Is it that high? It's not that high, is it? It is
It
that
is.
high.
It is. Yeah. No, you're right. It's. I mean, or it has sturdy, so you can always go sturdy as well. But like,
Yeah.
um, just um, just like with that many fairy weaknesses, I was like, I don't know. I had to ding it a little bit for that. Not that I don't think he'll be able to play around that, but
Yeah, you look at that top four, and they're all weak to fairy, which is an issue. But again, like Terrakion gets like Iron Head, so like if they've not even got a very fast in Terrakion, it can really hurt you. Um,
Mhm.
I believe in Matrix. I think he can like steer any team into like playoffs. I think.
hmm.
Yeah, he is an incredible battler. So
There's not a lot of physical fairies, so you can pretty safely go like assault vest on stuff, which is nice.
And yeah, you got like multi-scale with Dragonites always like take that first hit as well.
yeah,
Hmm.
Drampa, he seems to like Drampa. I've seen him draft Drampa a couple of times.
I love Drampa.
it's a dope mon, dude.
Are you about to say something bad about Drampa?
No, I said
No,
it's dope.
no, I'm not saying. I'm just.
No.
It's like the Vanillux thing now. I see Drampa and I think Matrix.
Mm.
But yeah, very good team. I don't doubt he's going to
Yeah.
do well this season. Right, who's next? We're into top five. No, top six. Kamala's
Kamala's
my boy
next.
Kel, and the Kamalas.
Face him. I face him week 1.
I face him week 2.
I face him
Boy.
week.
I really enjoyed my
6.
battle with Cal last season. I think it was like the final week of regular season, and it was like such a back and forth game 1 at least. So I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to playing him again. And he sniped my Loopany. But he's gone like hard sun, right?
Yeah, he has a lot of sun in his team.
I mean,
Then I
but
like it.
he's got good ways to counter it though, like with Dilly with the Storm Drain.
Storm Drain, yeah, protect your fire types.
Tangrowth was just general redirection, but also Pikachu with Lightning Rod. So really good ways to cover the Charizard at least.
And you can
Yeah.
also run like Chlorophyll Tangrowth if you're gonna go that route.
Yeah.
Inteleon. I like
How many
Inteleon
fake
last season.
tiers?
Good speed tier, yeah. Gone Greedent for like his Trick Room option, I guess. And Sudowoodo.
Yeah.
You've got Sudowoodo in UJ, right, Goomer?
I do. That was mainly because I have a friend who doesn't play a lot of Pokemon, but I told him I was doing a draft, and I was like, yeah, here you can pick one of my mons, and he picks a Widow for me. So I was like, all right, we're gonna use this. But at the same time, I don't think it's like the worst. I don't think it's a terrible tier 5. Like base 100, especially with sturdy, so you don't have to waste a sash on it. Like like oh my gosh, a rockhead head smash would be super powerful. So
Yeah.
I don't mind it. That's true. The one time I used it, it missed. So
I think Lopunny's a great tier 5. Like I said, I was gonna get it. Great speed tier, not a bad attack stat.
Mhm.
Like you can do things with like Klutz, like Switcher Ruin, bad items onto other things. Fast Charm, I think is a very good tier 5. I will say like Greedent, I don't see how Greedent particularly works. Like with your only Trick Room setter being Whimsicott. Is that right?
Yeah, that's his only tier I'm on.
it's more. Maybe it's just a slow mon, just to be like a counter. Like again, it's like okay, you could set it up, but I
yeah.
agreed.
So you can't Trick Room on me. Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, I like the team. So it's stacked. Like the top side of it is very stacked. Like
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's why I said like it's pretty hyper offensive and not much typing variety, but he's got a good mix of like power, support, and speed tiers. So
Agreed.
I felt like it was still pretty good.
Yeah, so be excited to see what he does this season. Like our group, he's in our group, right? Our group's so stacked. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I know,
Best
like
division.
yeah. I think Batista, I can't say his name without trembling, said it like It's like you, Otto, me have the 3 highest win percent rated in the league history, and they just parked us in the same group.
Wow.
One of us isn't going to come out with the highest win percentage then.
Oh yeah, crazy. So now we have the Umbreons. They were a finalist in season 2.
Yep.
This
What's
is top 5, you said?
This is number 5. Yeah. What's their team actually called? United Umbreons.
United Umbreons.
Yeah.
United States of Wolfie.
God. All right, so yeah, like Mega's a very good player. I played him twice in the season we were in together. And he whooped my ass, kicked me out of playoffs. This team, however, like it's quite high. I guess you guys rate it quite high, but I'm looking at it and I just don't particularly like it. Look, you talk about it. It's the first time I'm really looking at it.
I really like Aromatis. Really like Salazzle. I think Clefairy's solid for tier 1 because again you can bring it like every week if you want, and I guess he might not have the best abusers of like redirection, like unless you like are gonna redirect and accept Trick Room or redirect and like with Landorus and just start throwing off max airstreams or something. But I don't know. I mean, I thought it was pretty solid, like especially like just like the individual mons.
Yeah.
And I have Salazzle and UGA. I really like Salazzle. Now I do like the trade for Shedinja. I forget who he had, but he had 3 not fully evolved with Clefairy, Linoon, and whoever his other tier 5 was, but he traded that away, so I like that. Is a little ice weak, I guess, with like the Druddigon, Landorus, and Rotom. And the only reason I think why being weak to certain types matters in certain combos is like being ice weak with this team with a Clefairy is tough because if you have a good Mon who has Blizzard, like that can be annoying.
Yeah.
Like because ice is one of those types with a really good spread move. So that, but I mean he does have resist obviously with like Bronzong, Suicune.
Yeah, and they're both super
Salazzle. But I think it's pretty solid. Yeah. He's got different modes. And I think like Druddigon and Throw, those are decent Trick Room abusers. So
I mean, I think the ability to have like so many modes. We got Trick Room, you have Tailwind, you have EQ spam, right? You have like 3 Mons who can be a part of EQ spam. Lots of setup potential. I think is a very, very well-rounded team. And honestly, it did feel like it's just one of those teams that's so scary to face. Because there's so many options. So
yeah, I guess that's what's good about this team. I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't really know what he's gonna do other than like try and swoop me with Landorus. So I guess that's good in that respect. So the team everyone's been waiting to hear about is Batista and the Bugtista Butterfrees, and they've gone and drafted Mono Bug.
Weird. Mine says the Bagista Dirt Slayers.
Dirt Slayers in the first VDL Sunday special.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm playing tomorrow, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. Wow. You're getting it before the season even starts.
Yeah, because I'm moving house on Thursday. So I messaged him early, like, do you think we can play before then? And I didn't think we would match up on a weekday. So we're like, should we just do it this Sunday?
So are you going to premiere this Sunday, or are we going to wait a whole week without anyone spoiling it?
I think, I don't know. I'll speak to Womble, but he's already, like, promoted the Sunday thing for, like, next week. Like, tweeted out and everything.
You guys will have to keep your mouth shut then.
Contraband. What do you guys want to say about Monobug? Scyther.
Why
haven't I thought about Scyther once? Did he make a trade?
It's too powerful for you.
No, I haven't thought about Scyther once in my prep, and I think
he always had it.
Yeah, he always had it.
Okay.
This guy
Fair
redo
enough.
his entire team. Great. I think so. I was gonna say, like, if you are drafting a mono team or mono bug, like, you could draft a bad mono bug team, but I think this is one of the best mono bug teams. Like,
Yep.
He has a lot of good options, varying speed tiers, combos, typings. Like, you might think like, oh, it's bugs is gonna be super weak to fire, but it's like, okay, you've got Glisopod, you've got Volcarona, you've got Crustle. Outler, I mean, hey, 80, 90 defense and special defense, like with Eviolite, that's decent bulk, and you can have Trick Room. I think, like, obviously Pheromosa's super nice for like speed swap stuff or just general support or or power. Same with Rabombi, and you can't fake it out, so that's really cool. Because I don't think there's any ghost bugs.
Shedinja.
Oh yeah, Shedinja. But other than that, like, yeah, at least he's fake out. Got some fake out stuff. Yeah, with Rabombi. And yeah, I think there's some cool combos he can do with some of this stuff. That be really scary. I actually I faced a mono bug team one time on ladder and lost to it, so I felt really bad about that.
Well, I'm sure I'll know how you feel very soon.
Yeah, let's hope I don't lose to it in draft when I know it's coming.
Yeah, mono bug is hard to deal with, honestly.
Whoa,
Yeah, I'm back. I'm right here.
you're back with 4 teams left to rate.
It doesn't matter. I'm gonna give my input.
Right.
Sorry I was late.
I
No
feel like
worries.
this is one of the best bug teams he could have drafted, and I do think it's a good team, even comparable to other teams, right?
Right.
It's like I just feel like, I mean, he's got his type cores as much as he can because there is no bug dragon, right? He's got a lot of tools, and it looks like a very, very scary team. So I actually think this is like a legitimate top 10 team in the league. So
Here's what I want to know is if now I'm not sure if once people realized he was going for mono bug, if they laid off the bugs, but what if people started picking some of these good bugs and just left him with the trash bugs? Wonder if he would have kept going for it or just offered trades. I don't know.
I saw Matrix went for Araquanid because he said he wanted it, but he didn't want to leave it to chance in case the bug boy picked it up.
I kind of wanted Haircross, but once I saw, I was like, oh, Pheromosa was his first pick. I was like, he's not going to pick another bug fighting. He didn't, so.
Yeah, but he did pick up 2 bug electrics, but they're very different, I guess.
Yeah, I really like
Yeah.
that too because it also helps against his flying weakness, which really not too many of them are flying weak because he's got Crustle, Vigavolt, Galvantula, then Durant and Scavalier.
exactly, yeah.
Can I say something for 1 moment?
Go on.
Yeah. So Batista, if you're gonna watch this, I'm sorry if I'm gonna reveal any plans, but that I'm really scared of that Crustle because it gets access to Shell Smash. So if he's able to get that up and successfully get that going is going to be very dangerous, Crustle. So just telling you guys, you should watch out for the Crustle because it's extremely underrated.
Well, I think like Shell Smash is one thing, but also South Proc
Galisopod.
Aquajet with weak armor and a weakness policy does the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm scared.
I'm not scared.
We'll see. Like
because you don't want to play scared against the bugs. They love the fear. They feed off the fear.
It's not even the bugs, man. His name is Batista. That's intimidating enough.
It's true.
Like, is he?
I mean, we don't know if he's an actual wrestler, so we haven't asked that question yet.
I was gonna say, is he WWE's own Big Dave Batista, or is he YouTube's own bug fanatic PokeTuber A Drive? We don't know. He's just rocked up and took all the bugs.
How much you want to bet it's A-Drive?
It'd be funny if he made an alt account just to play in the VDL.
I doubt it.
Oh, you doubt it. Okay, can't be done.
Yeah, I doubt A Drive would come into our server and actually play.
Oh,
I
but
mean, you never know.
Dave Bautista.
I'm still all for that conspiracy theory. Yeah, there of them.
All right, let's move on from the bugs for now. Then they've been in my head all week anyway.
Fair.
So at number 3 we have the Rhydons, Ripley County Rhydons.
Really
Where's Ripley
like this
County
team.
then?
No idea, dude.
Probably some random place.
What's the bets? Oh, no way. Well, okay, there could be multiple Ripley counties, but yeah, I already see 2 of them. But the top results, what do we think? Right.
Yeah, this is a good team.
Indiana,
There's just like no bad one on the team.
or Missouri.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm really loving Salamence in the UGA and Bulu, and Registeel I have in a multi-battle league. Really like Registeel.
Yeah.
I also have Registeel in the UGA. Really good.
I think he's a just a lot of solid mons. Even the tier 5s are really solid. I love Grab Locked, and Kingler was one of those that I think would have been fun to try out, but got it. The only thing is that I think he might need a little bit better support, but maybe not. I don't know. If I was just gonna criticize it in some way, just because like he's got Cresselia Trick Room, but like Zatu, I don't know how good that would be in VGC, and then I don't know. Everything else seems a little bit more offensive oriented.
I feel like there's lacking a bit of synergy in the team. Like, it's what's making it not a number 1 team. It's just I feel like a little bit more synergy would just make this probably one of the best teams, if not the best team in the league, right? So it's already an amazing team, but I just don't see a lot of synergy.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I can see plenty of threats in this team, but like Gumi said, that synergy is really holding it down, and maybe a little bit more support would definitely help it a lot. Other than Zatu and Cresselia, a lot more support would help it. And Toxicroak, yeah.
I don't think the lack of like immediate synergy is holding it down that much, though. I mean, it's still like what, ranked number 3. Like I think it's really, really good. So
yeah, it's just full of good mons is the thing. There's not a bad one on there. So number 2, who we got number 2? Who's left?
Otto and but Otto's number 1. Kudella.
Yeah.
There are Texas State Frogs. So Kudella's team, I can't really remember a thing about Kudella's team. Let's have a look.
I think Bella really likes Berserker. It's like he drafted in last season. I don't know if he has it in other drafts too, but I feel like he does.
Does Steelworker work alongside Delmise?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's literally just
sorry, Steely Spirit.
It literally.
Yeah. So.
Interesting.
I thought that was really cool.
Like the type course
It's just really cool team.
So I do have some gripes with this team though. Like the fastest mon is 98 speed, and his methods of speed control, which would be like Tailwind Articuno or Trick Room Dusknor, those are both weak to Dark and Ghost, so you could limit the speed that way. So I didn't rank this team super. I think I ranked him like somewhere in the middle, like because he's got some solid mons, but yeah, the speed tier I think is gonna be a real struggle for him this season.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say.
Yeah, there's definitely lacking of
some power. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely lacking in some speed control there. Like like Goomer said, like his highest speed is at 98. That's a little bit problematic, especially since he has weak setup mons like Articuno and Dusknoir setting up the Trick Room and Tailwind. So
Exactly,
you know, adding a little bit more support and some a little bit maybe some little more fast mons would definitely help. Yeah.
All right. I don't really have too much to say about it. I've only just looked at it for the first time. So that makes our number one team last season's winner, Otto and the Pacific Slavers. Now I've seen his team, and again, it's one of these teams where like he just made the most out of every tier.
Yep.
Yeah.
What have we got to say about this one?
I mean, every mon is definitely usable. Covered a lot of typings, a lot of different modes. I mean, and he's got multiple Pokemon with multiple good abilities, which is really nice too. Like I think Arcanine is really really useful. Arcanine and Thunderous Incarnate. Thunderous Incarnate was one of those another tier ones. You can maybe argue Arcanine too, but just like I was saying, Celestial is like top 5, just like draft mons. I feel like Thunderous Incarnate is kind of like that too. Like just so versatile and so useful on teams. And yeah, definitely got the combos: Excalibur Palisand, Sneasel Virizion, or Sneasel Arcanine. Then yeah, just really good stuff. And be a scary team to face. Me and Gert got to face off against it.
Yeah. I don't know where to begin looking at that. I like Dragalge. I kind of thought about Dragalge for a little bit.
You're into speed tiers too. He's got Excalibur, which is just makes it annoying to prep speed wise because you don't know how fast it's going to be, but also he's got all the way down to 30 with King with his Trick Room user and kind of a good mix in the middle too. So
and Aggron's there. Aggron's only 50.
Do you feel like I feel like there's a decent amount of draft teams where like people don't pick up a Pokemon higher than like 105 speed, and I think that really hurts.
Yeah.
But then like, wait, what's Rapidash gonna say? What's Rapidash speed? 105. Yeah.
Oh, it's 105. Yeah.
Like anything faster than that is Selgor, which is obviously just very supportive. You haven't got like that immediate offense.
You got Sneasel, Thunderous, and Virizion who are
it's Thunder.
Are 105.
Oh, right. 111. Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna do very well. I don't doubt he makes playoffs like at all.
Especially in the division he's in.
Oh, come on.
What's that supposed to mean, Ted?
He meant that it's in the
I'm not throwing any shade at you guys. It's just that he clearly has one of the better teams out there. Not throwing any shade at your guys' team. I know your teams are very good. I'm just saying that he has a much higher chance.
It says he knows my team is really good, and he ranked me like
division.
23rd.
He's got the bug team. How did you see him getting past the bug team?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, maybe the bug team is his weakness. You never know.
Gonna get double forward by the bug team.
I think Slowking is the only mon, and Sneasel, I guess, are the only mons weak to bug on his team. But
I was joking. I didn't know the matchup. But yeah, that's every team we've gone over. This is the order in graphic form, if it ever loads.
Very graphic.
Oh, it's not coming. There it is. Okay. So yeah, this is where everyone was placed. We didn't put it up at the beginning, so we could like make you wait to find out where you were. But like I said, it doesn't really hold too much weight considering where players ended up last season. But yeah, looking forward to getting into
pretty much even.
Anything else to say before we leave it?
No,
I would
looking
like to
forward
say good luck
uh,
to everyone in the season.
Wait, so we're not doing pick'ems?
Are we
it's
gonna do
been really
pick'ems right
long.
now? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
I say
really
we
long.
just check the Pick'ems channel.
Okay.
Just check the pick'em channel. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not sure I'm
But,
actually screen sharing that right now.
It's fine.
Yeah, you don't have to screen share it.
Yeah, I mean, week 0 power rankings is the least informative though. So it's
Yeah, exactly.
It comes down to a lot to play and prep. So it'll be interesting to see what people pull out here.
Yeah, it's not loading either right now, so we'll just leave it there. That's little look at
Yeah.
everyone's teams, what we thought, and just saying welcome all the new coaches and good luck everyone. And we'll be back next week for week 1 power rankings. So,
Oh boy.
see you guys later.
See you.
See ya.
Yeah.